Attention, it's not anything new. For over 100 years, Sumner has been known for their rhubarb. Residents, both new and old, taking part in celebrating their roots. What's the first thing that comes to mind when I say rhubarb?
Pie.
Strawberry rhubarb pie.
To these residents, it's more than just a vegetable, though.
Always growing up here in Sumner, there were just fields and fields and fields of rhubarb.
Steve Redfield has called Sumner home for over 40 years.
I guess it was just the history with the farming and so forth, and the valley being a farming community is a big part of the history.
There was a restaurant that was in town for over 50 years called the Berryland Cafe, and they were always known for their pie. I think people now, are coming in here looking for it.
Did you know that Sumner is the rhubarb capital of the world?
That's awesome. I did not know that.
We celebrate it. And I don't know that anybody else celebrates rhubarb the way we do.
The Sumner Downtown Promotion Association hosts Rhubarb Days and includes a rhubarb bake-off, rhubarb racing, and of course, a rhubarb pie eating contest.
I'd say my favorite place to go get rhubarb pie would be Hometown Charm Cafe across the street and down just a few doors.
Teresa Maycomer, one of the owners of the Hometown Charm Cafe, has perfected her specialty.
I've used the same recipe for 25 years, and it tends to be a good recipe.
Sometimes you don't even need a recipe, though.
When my husband was young, they used to just dip it in sugar and eat rhubarb that way, just by the stalk.
The possibilities are endless.
We've got pie, of course. We've got crisps, cobblers, beverages, what else? Cookies. So I've seen all sorts of things made with rhubarb. My favorite is probably rhubarb crisp. I like crisps. I like that crunchy topping, you know, with the nuts and graham crackers and cinnamon and spice. I like rhubarb crisp.
Suzanne Kipfer's favorites are served by Daniel Brock, the owner of the Sumner Cafe.
I think rhubarb, it just has a really nice tart flavor, and it really lends itself to a scoop of ice cream. And so I think that combination is really it's delicious.
Delicious and good for you?
For people that are health conscious, I like to tell them that like a rhubarb crisp or rhubarb pie, it's really like a vegetable casserole.
Casserole sounds way more figure friendly than rhubarb pie.
It's definitely a vegetable. It looks a lot like celery when it's just in its like raw state. And some people like to eat it raw. You chop it up and put a little salt on it. I don't personally like it, but my wife loves it like that. But when you cook it in a pie or a crisp, or I make muffins and scones with rhubarb as well, and it's super tasty.
Sumner. What I didn't get a chance to tell you, which is what I was about to actually tell them, is that Mr. Brock, the owner of the Sumner Cafe, actually wooed his wife by making her some rhubarb pie and pastries, and they've been married now for a long time. But rhubarb has been grown in the valley for over 100 years, and Sumner's annual Rhubarb Days celebration is happening later this month on July 27th and 28th.